This is the MGTOW Infinium here with another Infinium Free Talk. This Infinium Free Talk is entitled, What is Implacable is Also Resistant to Peace. You know, my brothers, earlier today I was listening to some content from active Odysee MGTOW, wherein he was discussing how he had overheard a conversation with two men in a cafe, and one man was describing how his wife was unsatisfied with his providing of a stable lifestyle for his wife. And the wife wanted to do more exciting things like travel, get a new car because the car that they had is old, that type of thing. So it was essentially a conversation about how a wife is unsatisfied with what her husband has provided for her in terms of stability, in terms of peace, that type of thing. And how because of her lack of understanding about budgets and because of her lack of capability to be content with what she has, be content that the bills are paid, you have a reliable car, she is doubling down on her implacable nature to be pleased, that nothing can satisfy her, nothing can bring her contentment. And again, you have a situation where you have a roof over your head, you have your bills being paid, you have reliability in terms of a car that's older but reliable nevertheless. You have, in some cases, what people around you may not have. They may have situations like eviction notices, not being able to pay the bills, not being able to keep the lights on, or they're living paycheck to paycheck. And like if they lose that paycheck, they are doomed. She does not have that. She has what her husband has provided for her, which is stability, which is peace, which is the type of lifestyle, again, that many around her, if she would look around her, the type of lifestyle that is in this economy, it is very hard to attain. And my brothers, this speaks to the overall implacable nature of women, that you cannot please them. Many, if not most women, you cannot please them. You cannot give them a sense of peace because of doing everything that you can, doing everything that is under the sun to bring them, first of all, a place of safety, a place of peace and contentment. I don't know about anybody else, but it seems to me that if you have a stable environment wherein, again, your bills are taken care of, your refrigerator is stocked with food, you have a reliable vehicle, you can get around and do things on a regular basis, and again, this type of economy, that you would have some contentment, and then you would have some appreciation of your man who is doing these things for you. But yet again, there is this implacable nature of this woman. And it is not just this case of this woman. It is across all race groups. It is across social and economic factors. All of these things, it crosses every aspect of a woman's nature, no matter what race she is, no matter where she's living, who she's married to, so to speak, in terms of a good man, it does not matter. It is across the board, my brothers. And it involves almost every woman that lives in a westernized society, which has the entrenchment of feminism. Now, my brothers, what I'm saying to you is this: the implacable nature of women, the difficulty, the extreme difficulty in trying to please women is a futile effort for you as a free man. And that is why, again, you will be in many cases unable to please women in any form, or fashion, my brothers. This is because, again, women cannot be content with what they have. They cannot be happy in a peaceful environment, and therefore they would rather have chaos. They would rather have the drama of the bills not being paid. They would rather have the issues of an eviction notice hanging over your head and you running around trying to figure out how you're going to rob Peter to pay Paul, so to speak. They would rather have that. They would rather see you in chaos, see you running around, see you being distraught and upset about the situation, rather than to have you as a good man go out there and ensure that she has a stable, peaceful environment, which is devoid of drama, devoid of disturbia, my brothers. They would rather have that chaos in your life because that's what feeds them. Peace and contentment, just like accountability, is a form of kryptonite to women because it does not sustain or feed their cravings for chaos, for drama, for disturbia, my brothers. That is why, again, when it comes to women being in your life, that is a great danger to your freedom and your peace, my brothers. Now, the other aspect of this is what is going on currently within the feminist plantation state, within the ranks of women themselves. And that is, again, the losses, the downfall of the House of Cards in terms of feminism, in terms of women embracing the failed ideology of feminism. We're seeing across the board the things that are happening to women, the losses, the job losses. Again, there's report after report of women losing their jobs. They're losing the cushy jobs that they had because of things like DEI, all these things, and they're finding themselves in a position where their degrees that they have these high student loan debts because of, that their degrees are worthless. They are not worth anything. And even in getting a job at a fast food joint, their degrees are that worthless because of what has happened. You have all of that going on. You have this situation with high eviction rates. Again, when I drive around town, I see homeless women everywhere. Yesterday, I was riding around taking care of some business, and when I went to the Walmart, homeless women there. When I was driving down the street and stopped at a light, homeless women driving around in their cars piled high with their belongings. So all of that is going on. But yet again, there is the implacable nature of women that, first of all, we men warn them of these times. We warn them of their actions and what would happen to them because of their actions. And these times have occurred. These situations have occurred. And now, instead of women taking accountability for their actions, they are doubling down on their implacable nature. And that being telling we men that we have to be chivalrous. We have to save them. We have to do all of this. We have to ensure that when we stacked our greens, so to speak, when we did the right things and we have our homes or we have our car paid off, we did all these things, we now have to turn our resources over to women no matter what. And this is in the face of women not taking accountability for their actions, women not dealing with the implacable nature of not being content. Because again, before all this happened, before quote unquote 2025 occurred, and this downfall, this type of stripping process, which we MGTOW men in particular predicted what would happen to women, and now is occurring. In the face of that, women are doubling down on their implacable nature, and they are blaming us. First of all, blaming we MGTOW men in particular, and then secondarily expecting that we in particular as MGTOW men turn from the pathway that frees us and go back and support them, go back and take care of women's needs. They are expecting those things from us, and they are saying that they have no need to take accountability for their actions. They have no need to not be appreciative of our noble nature. They are saying those things to us in the face of what is happening to them, my brothers. So all of that is going on. All of that is happening. And again, we see these things. But my brothers, what you're seeing is the depth and the level of what has happened to women because of feminism and because of how feminism is an abject failure, a truly abject failure in every possible way. You're seeing the depths of how far women will go in terms of being implacable when they know in their minds that they need help. They know in their minds that it is we men that don't need them. But yet they would do these things. They would act in this manner, and they would not take true accountability for their actions. Now, the other thing I would like to discuss with you, my brothers, is this. Because of what is happening, there is, of course, the eating condition, and that being women turning on each other, and to the degree that you are seeing things happening between women, women killing each other, women robbing each other, all these things are going on. But my brothers, as I said about, I would say 2 years ago, that there would be a stripping process which would occur with women, and that would lead to women being torn down, and that would cause a kind of eating condition wherein women would attack each other, women would rob each other, all these things would happen. But my brothers, I also cited that it would get worse, and it is getting worse in the form of within the ranks of the feminist plantation state. You're seeing that eating condition, that turning on each other occur within the ranks of the feminist plantation state. Now, if you take, for instance, the incident where the AG got arrested by the police because she was drunk and she was there with her flying monkey assistant or whatever she was, you can see the aggressive nature that the male police officers had with that AG, this feminist AG and her flying monkey assistant. You saw what happened to her. She was put into cuffs immediately, even though she and her flying monkey assistant said that she was an AG. She tried to pull rank over those police officers. The police officers basically told her, "We do not care." They immediately cuffed her, threw her into a police cruiser. They took the flying monkey assistant, who was snide and prideful at the beginning and trying to tell the police officers to, "You have to suck up and shut up." They took her screaming and yelling and threw her into another police cruiser. That's what happened to her. And that is symptomatic, my brothers, of the eating condition affecting the ranks of the feminist plantation state and affecting the ranks of the enforcers of the feminist plantation state. My brothers, what I'm saying here, as you see in the incident as well, the simps that tried to prevent the enforcers of the feminist plantation state from arresting the AG and the flying monkey assistant, those simps were pushed out of the way aggressively. They were shoved out of the way. And in the case of the flying monkey assistant, the simp that was trying to intervene, again, was pushed out of the way and was left to basically saying, "Babe, I'm here." But he could not do anything because, again, he would have been taken away by the enforcers of the feminist plantation state. So you see these things happening. You see the types of things that are going on within the feminist plantation state itself. You see these things happening within the ranks of women, the eating condition. And what I'm saying to you, my brothers, is to stay out of it. Go do what you need to do. Again, because you will not have any power to save a woman like what happened with that AG. And to put it in another way, that AG was given a chance to leave quietly along with her flying monkey assistant and call it a day. She refused to do so because, again, of her implacable nature and her need to exert authority over those police officers. And again, to not accept a level of peace and contentment, and also not accept a option of peacefully and contentfully leaving the situation without any drama, You were told to leave, now you leave. Instead, again, she decided to resist. She decided to exert her authority rather than to take accountability for her actions, her and her flying monkey assistant, and that is being thrown out of a restaurant because of their behavior, because of their drunken behavior. Rather than to do the right things, they both did that, and that is what resulted. And so I'm saying to you, my brothers, when you see these things happening, when you see the doubling down on being implacable, being resistant to peace, being resistant to being content, the only thing you can do, my brothers, is to walk away from it, to stay away from it. Stay away from what is generating that implacable nature. Stay away from what is causing disturbance, what is causing chaos, what is causing all types of things that could get you into trouble, could get you arrested, could get you into a situation where you don't want to be in. And my brothers, basically it is you must protect what keeps you in contentment, what keeps you in peace. You must protect your freedom. And that is, again, when you see these things happening, and it is going to get worse as time goes along. And you're going to see things beyond your comprehension, I believe, my brothers, happening with women. And you're going to see them, again, doubling down on their implacable nature and doing things like getting on TikTok and crying and complaining about men who will not display chivalry anymore, men who will not do things for them anymore. You will see these things, and you will see these things get worse, my brothers. And what I'm saying to you, my brothers, is this: take care of your freedom. Take care of what is rightfully yours. That is your peace and your contentment, my brothers. Take care of what is yours. And never mind the women who are doubling down on their implacable nature. Because, my brothers, it can be summed up like this: it is not worth it. It is not worth your time. It is not worth your effort, my brothers. My brothers, women are agents of chaos because of their need to double down on their implacable nature. They need to be right at all times. They need to have drama. They need to have unstable situations. All these types of things, my brothers. And my brothers, that is not your portion as a free man. Your portion is your freedom and the peace and the contentment that is derived from your freedom, my brothers. That's what it is about. And that's what you must protect at all costs. What I'm saying to you, my brothers, that you should not consider the anger and the contempt of women, because you will not give up your peace, because you will not give up your contentment, your freedom. You should not consider it of any value to you. The criticisms that will come your way because of these things, you should not consider these things, but consider who you are as a free man and what allowed you and what caused you to be a free man, and protect that which is valuable to you. And that is your freedom, that is your peace, and that is your ability to be content as a free man. This is the MGTOW Infinium, and this has been an Infinium Free Talk. My MGTOW brothers, as always, stay safe, stay strong, stay on the MGTOW path, and remember, MGTOW is the liberation of men's minds. MGTOW cannot and will not be stopped.